Yo, what's popping? What's popping? This is On The Rock with Stone and kama kawaida tunakucheki. I am your boy, son of Maria, and you know it's all about the good vibes. No time for bad vibes, just mad vibes. And Saturday is for the boys, Sunday is for the boys as well. And you know, this is the place where we got you tunakucheki. Boy child, wherever you are, man, tunakucheki. So tuned in with me kama kawaida. On the left is
Byron Adera, pioneer, next Kenya Special Forces operator, man. It's amazing to meet you in the middle of nowhere.
amazing to meet you too, man. So you know what it is, guys. He is an ex-special forces kind of man. So if you wanna learn how to throw some bullets, how to throw some shots, yeah, he's your guy. He can teach you how to throw them shots, yeah.
But at the speed of not 1,000 gazelles, 800 feet per second, man. That's crazy. I mean, meters per second. That's crazy.
800 watts?
Meters per second. You depress that trigger and the division flies in excess.
So, man, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this and you ever think about pulling a trigger, just know, fun fact, yeah, the decision is critical, and also 800 meters per second. So, as you know, guys, it's always all about the good vibes, and tunakucheki boy child, wherever you are listening to us from. So, Mr. Byron here has been someone when has gone through some mental issues. Man, being in the special forces is not something si kitu rahisi. Unasikia inaitwa special forces. These are the kind of force that Albert Einstein, all them scientists and all that never started special forces. Yes. But Mr. Byron, you can just give us a glimpse, man. What does it feel like to be in the special forces?
Well, a day is like a decade of what you do on the contemporary world. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of fun to be there. That's where you're the big boys and the best of toys, and you have the best of teams to play with.
The best of toys, guys, ladies. Best of toys.
Yeah, best of big boys toys. Not the other kind of toys, man. This is the big boys toys, and it's amazing because, I mean, you all watch movies, right? Yeah. So for me, the inspiration of those deadly guys that are walking through the jungles like this.
Van Damme.
Beyond that, this is cut from a different cloth. And they are deadly as they come. Yeah. They are hunters of men. And I said, I want to be like one of those guys. Yeah, but it takes you so much because you've got to be very differentiated as a man in the first place. Yeah. You are the cream de la cream. You're the top 1% of humanity. That's what they call us. No one selects you to be there. You select yourself. 100% like for the parachute regiment, which I joined before after cadets, it's for volunteers. Unamaza training, and then they tell you who wants to go for more training, which is more hardcore. And you raise your hand up in the air, and that's why there's that big gang. You see, there's
special. I'm not a special force, but I have a wolf, so I'm very courageous, if you can see. But you know, Byron, you've mentioned something very crucial. Like you mentioned being a man, like being a man, and most of you people, all the guys that are watching out here, if you're going through pain, if you're going through stress,
go out there going through more pain than you.
Exactly. And what do people tell you after everything? They tell you to be a man.
Be man up.
So special forces, man, is all about trying to be a man, trying to compress all that things that you see. People dying, people screaming, people shouting. He was in the parachute what?
Regiment.
Parachute regiment. These guys, man, say, we imagine falling out of 10,000 feet.
A serviceable aircraft that's gonna land anyway.
Anywhere.
But, the pilot's gonna bring it down, but you decide you're the madman, mad enough to say, we are not gonna land with this guy.
Let's jump.
Yes.
So let's jump into this right now. Your mental health is something very important. True. Boy child, wherever you're listening to us from. So, Byron, you've told me something very crucial. You've been through ADHD, you've been through PTSD, you've been through ASD, acute stress disorder. You've been through all zile disorders, and you can say like, man, I've had mental issues. Like you've seen it all.
Well, and I don't think I've seen it all, but I've seen quite a bit.
You've seen quite a bit, yeah? And I'm sure, boy child, wherever you're listening to us from, you're also going through some things that you cannot even speak to anyone about it. You cannot even say like, yo, you know what, bro, I'm going through this and this and this, and it's not easy. But Byron here has been through all that. So how How has it been for you, man? Like how
Well, it's a journey.
how did you deal with that?
It's a
Yeah.
journey. Sometimes you really have to be looked after.
Yeah.
And that encourages us to feel vulnerable. Vulnerability is a point of strength and courage. Trust me, dying alone isn't courageous. For some of us who tell our stories, it's an act of extreme courage. I mean, show me a man, I'm the better man. That's the kind of attitude that I live by, you know. But beyond that, they tell us about vulnerability, and it means that you and I can be in a safe space and say, "Man, I'm going through something. Fuck, this is harsh," and that is being aware. So self-awareness is another. So appreciating your conditions and agreeing that there's always that point where you cannot be too strong, and all of us can never be strong all the time. So deadly
Byron,
as we come.
let me ask you
Yes.
before we continue.
Yes.
You know, being strong
Yeah.
is just like a statement.
Yeah.
Everyone else
Yeah, so let me break it down.
uses it this statement
Exactly.
like
So when
be
they
strong.
when they tell you to be strong and to man up, they're actually not telling you to really bottle things up and go through this life with a barrel chest, 8 feet tall, and saying, "Oh, I'm undefeatable." Not at all. They're telling you to be more mentally courageous,
Yeah.
or morally courageous. Moral courage is different for the physical courage. So being strong in this sense means that you have the moral courage to say, well, the right thing to do right about now is this is the right thing to do. Okay, physical courage is your girlfriend urges you to cross the road while vehicles are whizzing past. That's physical courage. You're gonna get run over.
Usijichoche bwana.
You're gonna get run over.
Don't
So-
lie to yourself.
so moral courage is what's the right thing to do right about now. You know, so let's demystify courage and strength. You can never be strong until you're also weak. Okay, and vulnerability speaks to that narrative where they're saying, well, we've lived amongst others. You know, we are social beings. If God didn't mean for us to be like that, we'd be animals. We wouldn't have this sense of speech and all. We have it because we are able to speak to someone and say, hey, what's going on? And that's how the society was so strongly wedded together in the past. Right now, we die divided rather than forge a merging survival.
Yeah.
Okay? So you and I can face up to these challenges today that we have been facing. And sometimes most of them will just be solved by people sharing problems. You realize, oh man, my guy has gone through this and it was a walk in the park.
Yeah.
When it's a Mount Everest to me. You know, and yours could be something else you're seeing is manageable and you share it and you find out, whoa, someone's gone through it and it's managed. So self-awareness and moral courage to allow yourself to feel vulnerable and to also accept that it's okay not to be okay. And you spoke to something very vital as well. You said whenever you're going through something, and we say in the special forces, there's always someone out there going through more pain than you. Whenever you're going through some pain, the most comforting statement you should have is there's always someone out there going through more pain than you, and it's possibly doing something better at managing their pain.
Yeah.
Yes.
So guys, man, you know, I'm not the kind of person to feed you a lot of juice, a lot of info, but you know, greatest things come in small quantities.
True.
And this might be a very short episode, might be a very short, but all in all, you've had it all. Self-awareness is the key, is the equalizer to everything. And as a man, being weak doesn't make you less of a man.
True.
Being weak doesn't make you weak. Being weak doesn't make you a bitch. You know, being weak makes you strong. Being able to embrace that vulnerable point of your life makes you strong. And as our previous episode, ukijijua utajijenga, na ukijijenga hakuna mtu anaweza kuambia shit. So you know what it is. This was On The Rock with the Stone, and kama kawaida tunakucheki. I was your host, San.
Ooh, that's amazing.
Hi.